Hello, I'm Jenna with Present Path, and today I want to talk about why writers need tarot. I've been writing since high school, and I love writing and I love tarot. I'm currently in the process of writing a book about how to read the cards and getting closer and closer to that scary moment of publishing. And I'm also writing a book under a pseudonym that you will never know is mine. Never. Today, let's talk about how you as a writer can gain benefit from the cards, either giving yourself readings or getting professional readings. There's multiple layers to this. First of all, the cards can actually help you design your book and your characters. You can set out all the details of your plot and your characters, and there might be some blank spots that you're like, I'm not quite sure where that's going to go. Now, of course, you can simply channel the information as you're writing. I consider reading the cards and writing to be very similar in the state of channeling. You're pulling information through your intuition. So the better I've become at the cards, the better I've become at letting the book become whatever it wants to be without controlling it and containing it. So it's great to learn to read the cards if you are a writer. But also, it's great to go to someone who's a channel for the areas that you're feeling like you need more information about before you can step into that chapter or go deeper into that character. The minor arcana are about the details of that character's existence, what they're magnetically drawn to, how they feel about things, what they think about things, and what they're physically creating in this world. The major arcana are about the hero's journey, so of course that relates directly to your character's trajectory and arc. You can even just do a major arcana pull to understand what's the purpose of this character's trajectory. What is their arc about on a more metaphorical level? Knowing that can help you adjust and adapt your character to make better choices to reach their ultimate purpose. The court cards in the minor arcana have to do with multiple character personality types. So you can consider, who does this character need to interact with, and then pull just one court card. How would your character interact with that person? That can be a really neat way to expand your character's interactions with people outside your own comfort zone. Really fun to do. So the cards can speak to what tools of plot points you can use with the minor arcana or the major arcana, and then with the major arcana, what trajectory is that person on in their spiritual evolution, and what kind of purpose and lessons do they need to experience to reach their final ultimate goal in the book. The major arcana is about that trajectory that this character is on a psychospiritual level of where they are in their evolution and what impacts them along the way on a more deep level. This is great to know so that you can give them a sense of whole purpose and use them in the way that the messages the book is trying to portray through their experiences, showing rather than telling. You also can just pull a spread on what does my next chapter need to be, and pull multiple cards and see if you can see a story there that relates to what your character needs to go through. The tarot can directly speak to your book, and it also can speak to who you are as a writer and what your purpose is in this book. So the cards can speak both to the actual book, the actual story itself and the characters, and the purpose of the book for why you're writing it. The cards can also speak to helping you overcome your resistance to writing it. One of the great challenges I have faced, who my friend Don Monefusco, who is a writing coach, has helped me immensely with, is overcoming just the resistance to sit down and write. When I was young, I thought that writer's block meant that you couldn't write, and that you had no words. And maybe that's some aspect of it, but I've really come to learn that writer's block is actually, for me, about the resistance to write, of being busy with other things in my life and not taking the time to write, of feeling like I'm a fraud in some way and blocking myself from writing by saying I'm not good enough to write this. We all go through that, but a tarot reader can help you to see what those blocks are and move through them, especially if they understand what the writer's typical resistance to getting word to page are. So it can be incredibly helpful to go to someone who can help you see through your resistance by talking specifically about why you're not writing, how to build a schedule of writing into your life that feels more in balance with your whole life. Usually most of us are running a job and running a family, running a house, and trying to get a book done. Sometimes we can use all that as an excuse to not actually make time for the writing. But a nice tarot reading can help you to see where there is room in your life to make sure you're sitting down to write. I do know many writers who have accomplished completing writing a long book while having a family and a home. So it is possible, and you don't need to beat yourself up that you haven't yet, because that's a form of resistance too. A good tarot reading can help you move past beating yourself up about not writing the book into a place of actually making it happen, and see where in your life you have room to do it, and overcome some of the psychological blocks that are keeping you from getting down to the dirty of writing on that typewriter, or I guess these days on your laptop. Not that old school. And if you are trying to read the cards for yourself as a writer breaking through resistance, again, you can look at if the mental spaces are the challenge, the swords are going to come up. If you are energetically blocked in some way, or not letting yourself follow through on your spontaneous enthusiasms, or requiring writing to only happen when it's spontaneous, that would be Wands cards. If you're getting a lot of pentacles, that means that you need to create a structure of to how you're building it into your day and your week, and be smart about the habits you're building. And if you're getting a lot of cups, that means there might be something emotional. Maybe you're afraid to be as honest on the paper as you want to be. And so there's a part of you that's not writing because you're afraid to just say what you need to say that feels very tender and emotional to you. Totally common experience. It's a very vulnerable thing to write a book, and often, especially with things like memoirs or sharing things that get really deep and personal. So the cups would be helping you to kind of nudge past those fears and go into a place of writing it, trusting you don't have to show it to anyone until you've shown it to someone. If you get Major Arcana cards around your practice of writing, those are speaking to you on a hero's journey yourself. Where in your hero's journey are you with this bold, brave act of being the hero writer, of being the person willing to put their thoughts to page? Those cards are going to be about psychospiritual messages of how you can evolve and be ready to write this book that you're ready to write. I hope you'll consider getting a reading from me, a fellow writer, and someone who's faced resistance with writing and faced her own challenges of the art. Treat yourself to the support you can get from a good reading, or get out your own tarot deck and see what they have to say to you. I hope you'll keep writing your book. I hope you'll call me for a reading, and I hope you'll subscribe to my page. Come get a tarot reading from someone who's a storyteller herself and a writer herself, who knows story arc and character arc, and who loves to channel both into writing and into the cards. You'd be completely confidential with me. You wouldn't even have to tell me anything about your book. I would simply tell you what's happening in the cards. It's a wonderful experience, and I love reading for writers. So keep writing no matter what you're doing, and go get out your tarot deck for your own support.